Research says that by the time a child is 17 years of age, they have heard no 150,000 times and only yes 5,000 times.
Wow.
Why did I decide to go into business? Was it for money? Because if it's for money, you ain't gonna be doing it for long. But if it's for meaning and purpose and making a difference in the lives of others, that became the kickstart to get back up again and to keep going.
You talked about your entrepreneurial journey and getting rejected by, I think you put like 12 or 13 book publishers, then selling 17,000 books out of the trunk of your car, cashing in your 401k to start your business, taking out a home equity line of credit. So like, what was that journey like for you, deciding to go out on your own, start your business and deal with all of that adversity and failure? Because it's easy to, in the moment, to go, okay, yeah, I got to bounce back. But like, what does that moment actually feel like viscerally?
It feels like I am absolutely crazy. I have just lost my mind. I've burned the boats. Like this is, what am I doing? And you sit many times with the story in your head of, okay, that didn't work out. How do I bounce back from this? And how do I keep going? And I think back in my early days, in 21 years of being an entrepreneur, I've reinvented 6 times. And with each reinvention, it was the understanding of, I have a little bit more wisdom. I made a lot of mistakes. I've experienced a lot of failure, but I still love the chase. I love the win. I love who I've become in the process. So after receiving 13 rejection letters from New York and California publishers, and then saying, you know what, I'm gonna publish it myself and I'm gonna straight up hustle, sell out the back of my truck, I realized you have to discover what Marie Forleo calls figure out ability. So you figure it out like no matter what. Research says that by the time a child is 17 years of age, they have heard no 150,000 times and only yes 5,000 times.
Wow.
So when I have had the no's, how do I find the yes? I think that's the other thing that's kept me going. And then probably the third thing is, over the years, Tarek, I look at the testimonials and the feedback from people who said, I read your book, I watched your video, I heard you live, and here's what happened in my life. I think in those moments when I wanted to give up, and there have been moments, for me, I start with prayer. I go back to my why. Why did I decide to go into business? Was it for money? Because if it's for money, you ain't gonna be doing it for long. But if it's for meaning and purpose and making a difference in the lives of others, that became the kickstart to get back up again and to keep going. I'll never forget. I was getting into this business deal, and my then wife, said to me, I don't think you should do it. And I'm like, no, you don't know the numbers. I'm going to do it. I signed the contract, go into business with these folks. And she said, I want to meet them. So we go to lunch and we're sitting there and lunch ends and we're back in the car. She says, I don't know what deal you got in with those guys, but you need to get out of it. And I'm like, why? She says, something is off. I cannot put my finger on it. I'm like, what? Guess what? She was right. I had to hire attorneys to get out of the deal. And what I recognized, I could have totally avoided it if I would have just brought her in a little bit early, says, hey, I don't need you to know everything about the business. Just what's your sense about where I'm at right now? And what I've discovered over 21 years, there were probably a lot of decisions and failures that could have been avoided if I would have asked for input and say, I'm too close to it. I'm like already in, I've written a check, let's go. And if I would have just stepped back, took a quick time out and say, what am I missing? I probably would have saved a lot of money and time. But because of just how I'm wired, like I leave Disney and I'm like, okay, this has got to work because I got something to prove. I got to prove, hey, I can make it without, being a W-2 and getting a regular paycheck. I can make it. And I think that bravado in me of wanting to just push through, I could have avoided a lot of things. But the flip side to that, we've had some incredible wins. We've met some incredible people. We probably have had well over a dozen to a full dozen of people who have become millionaires because of coaching and different things that we've been able to do with them. And when I hear their story, in fact, I was just on the phone last week with a young lady in Ireland who 10 years ago, I said, here's what you need to do this, 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 and this. And she did it. And now she's one of the leading entrepreneurs in all of Ireland. And I'm so proud of her. And she's gotten married and she's got a child. And she says, I'm building out this business. And she said, I just want to thank you. And I said, no, I congratulate you because you did the work. It's one thing to hear. It's another thing to do the work. And so I've got stories like that from people all over the world who just took a little kernel or seed of a thought as I talk about brilliance and resilience, and they made it happen. So when I have those moments of like, what the heck am I doing? I'm like, you know what? That's the fruit. That's the fruit of my work. So we're good.
I love it, man. If you enjoyed this short clip from the podcast, you can check out another short clip right here. Or if you want to watch the full episode of this podcast, you can watch that here. And remember, knowledge is not power. It's applied knowledge that's power. Take care. Have a great rest of your day.